When looking at a test case, we now have a override feature which allows you to create child test cases with certain information such as the test procedure being different from the parents for specific combinations of environment variables. Just to recap, for any test case, we can set environment variables against them so that when we create a cycle to test a combination of these variables, a separate testing task will be created for each combination. In this case, we're saying that all of these different releases and all of these different skews apply for this test case. When we look at an override, we're saying certain combinations of those choices will have certain fields such as the test procedure overriding the parent test procedure, which is always stored under the template description. The template description always contains the parent set of information that the overrides inherit, except for the fields that are explicitly linked for the override. When we create a test cycle, rules are set so that only approved test cases can be used in the cycle. The same concept applies to the overrides. If an override is in draft, it will not create a testing task for that specific combination of environment variables. Let's create a new cycle now. In order to create a cycle, we go under Test Run, and we right-click on any of these cycle groups to create a new cycle. We give it a name. We select our testers that are going to be included in the cycle, and we select our environment variables that the cycle will be tested against. In this case, I'm saying that the cycle will be tested against this release and maybe these skews. Next, we select a combination of these choices and where the test cases are located. The test cases that appear here would only be test cases in which the environments are applicable for in the previous screen. The end result looks something like this, where we have the test cases on the left, and we're going to be creating a testing task for each combination of these. When we look at what needs to be tested for a cycle, we'll see that some test tasks are not created for a given test case, which can be a result of this specific combination of environment variables in its choices having an override in draft form. Looking at the details of this test task, we can tell that it is an override since the test procedure differs from its parent test case.